Forse queste vi sembrano solo un mucchio di ricevute, ma io ci vedo una storia. E so come andrà a finire. Non finirà per niente bene. Che sta succedendo?
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Your movie is finally coming here in Italy too, after you have gained a lot of success almost everywhere. Did you expect that reaction by the audience? And what was the first idea from which you have developed this story?
Thank you. Yeah, we were not expecting this at all. Our movies are everything we work on is very strange, and so we know that some people love it and some people hate it, and we've gotten used to that. But
we knew that there'd be people like us, that might love it, but it's been overwhelming.
I love it.
Thank
you. But it's been overwhelming to see people love it for different reasons all over the world, different generations. That's really like, it feels like it's not even our movie anymore, you know. It's like owned by fans.
It's everything you could hope for as a filmmaker. It's been really beautiful. And then the initial idea, I mean, a lot of our filmmaking is very selfish. It's like what we want to do, like what are we excited to try out, and then slowly all the other ideas stick onto it. But the initial idea was just, I rewatched The Matrix like 4 or 5 years ago, and I was like, man, this movie is so good. If I could make a movie this good, I'd be so happy. I could retire. And that was like just the simplest seed. And then slowly it became about a family. It became about the multiverse. It became about chaos. It became about everything, you know.
But it almost started like Kung Fu Hustle. Like it was just like a silly action idea. Do something random and then you get a skill. And then we kind of wanted to balance that with like something worth saying, you know, and so it became about family. It became about the chaos of modern life, and and then we still do the silly fights too.
Nel multiverso ho visto migliaia di Evelyn. Tu puoi accedere a tutti i loro ricordi, le loro emozioni, persino alle loro abilità. C'è una forza malvagia che si sta diffondendo nei multiversi. E tu sei la nostra unica speranza per fermarla.
In fact, one of the themes of the movie is, of course, the sense and the meaning of our choices. And I liked very much the way you weaved it together to the relationships inside this family, which has a strong and beautiful cultural characterization. And that reminds me a lot of Pixar's Turning Red. Because
Funny, it came out like a month apart from each other at the same time. So it's very interesting.
And which was the most difficult challenge to develop a tale that can carry on all these existential themes in a new way? Because your movie is very original.
I mean, I almost feel like that's the answer. That like, what is the most difficult thing about it? It was just juggling it all. That was the hardest thing. Like, I think we felt confident that we could make a movie, you know, about characters and have the conflicts resolve in a satisfying way. But the hardest thing was just juggling it all, making all the genres, including all these thematic ideas, and then also just making it fun, like making sure that it was also just a fun blockbuster that people would want to go to theaters to see. Trying to do all of that at once, like I think most people would say, like, just try to focus, you know, be like, this is not how you make movies, you know. Just focus on one thing. And a
different movie, you would have stripped things away in order to make it better, but the movie was about chaos, so like we had to go to too many places and then somehow make it still enjoyable,
and so that was probably the hardest part. It was just having too much, usually it felt like we were drowning in our own movie, you know, because there was too much going on. So
we felt like Jobu.
And I loved the scene when Joy and Evelyn turn into rocks, and Joy tells her mother to let it go and to just be a rock because we are humans and we are small and stupid. It is very funny, but it leaves us with thoughts about our personal Black Donut. And and have you ever thought that hiding from the world would have been better than the struggle in everyday life?
Almost every day. I think about the rocks is almost like it's wish fulfillment, right? I remember growing up being so in high school being so overwhelmed with school and all the expectations and I used to dream about like, oh man, I wish I was in a coma. I wish I had I got into an accident so I could be in a coma so I could just take a break and no one would expect anything from me. Or like sometimes I would be in a subway and I'd be like on the way to class or something like that. Cause we used to go to school in Boston and I'd be like, oh, I hope this subway just stops. I just hope something breaks down and just gets stuck in a tunnel where no one can reach me. It's just so I can just have a break and I can be like, I have an excuse. Sorry, my subway broke down, so I can't. That's why I'm late, or that's why I can't do these things, or whatever. And I think a lot of people feel that way. I think life right now, or the current system, no matter where you are, whether it's Italy or America or anywhere, almost everywhere has kind of become this endless machine that we're kind of being pushed through. And so I think that's one of the reasons why the rock scene has resonated with a lot of people is because everyone just wants that. They want a moment where they don't have to feel all of it. And so, yes, to answer your question, all the time.
Yeah. It's
Non permettere a nessuno di fermarti.